within supply chain, I have worked mainly on the front end supply chain. That is everything to from moving the goods from warehouses to the final destination of consumption, which may be this the supermarkets, hypermarkets, the mom and pop stores, or to the even to the e-com channels. And in Starbucks, I'm looking after warehousing, logistics, distribution, procurement, sourcing, and planning. And I think we can talk about the warehousing and logistics piece the for today's because I personally feel that in Indian scenario within supply chain, I think this is one leg which is going to change drastically in next few years. Because of many factors, of course, government policies are one. Second, infrastructural pushes. Second and third, the industry nature itself is changing. So we can talk about that if that interests you as well.
What are the problems, or what is the state of the last mile distribution in India? And then how can it be improved? Maybe what you see as the future. Okay. What do you see as the future?
Okay. So okay. When I'm saying again, just to make sure we understand last mile in the same sense, is everything. The leg is going to finish the product journey towards the end consumer, right? So it may be a store. In if there is a supermarket, then the last mile will be before the stock reaches the store. While if it's an e-com, then the last mile will be when the stock reaches when the product reaches the consumer at his home or at his destination of delivery. And the problems in India is so last mile which means will be movement within the city, generally short distances, and it will be across locations sometimes which are not even easily accessible. Biggest problem that, for example, any e-com logistics team or the last mile delivery team faces is identifying the location. In India, while we do have pin codes to identify, but the addresses are not very scientifically defined, and for a new person who doesn't know the geography, it's sometimes very difficult to pinpoint where exactly that particular house or apartment is. And therefore, a local, for any geography, local knowledge becomes very important to excel in that leg, because of course all of this is going to impact the TAT for getting the product to its intended destination. It will impact the cost of servicing, because if it's going to take more number of hours, more number of people to deliver the X number of products, the cost is going to be high. And at the same time, because our infrastructure in many cities is not very good, the predictability of the product delivery time is almost impossible to do, because the traffic situations, the accessibility, the road conditions, all of that makes journey from point A to point B very difficult to predict, as in how much time it will take. So these are the challenges which are very crucial, and which make the last mile very difficult to master, and to give that confidence to the customer that the product will reach them at the right time, in the right condition, in the right form. So So that is one of the biggest challenge that I think almost all the companies dealing with last mile are facing.
So how can those challenges be addressed?
Yeah, so I think there are two things which probably companies can work upon. Of course, infrastructure is something which nobody can take on their own, but a lot of companies are now lobbying to make sure there is enough pressure on the government to improve that. And in some of the cities, there is actually good work happening. Of course, there is a lot to do because the impact is in very few cities, but that is going on. Second, I think for any of the company to excel in this field, tying up with the local people will be very important. And sometimes it may be not just local individuals who are hired, but local companies who have their network already developed using their expertise. So I think because problem is so all across and everybody's facing the same problem, unless the companies collaborate and are able to give and take knowledge and know-how of different legs for everybody to fight their own battles will be difficult. I think companies should work on that. That if somebody has, let's say, a good and India is a vast country. So if anybody wants to excel the entire country, that will be very difficult for a new player or for and most of the players are new because this concept itself is fairly novel, where they are trying to be more predictable, trying to be more. For anybody to cover the entire Indian geography will be very difficult. But if companies can leverage each other's expertise and each other's presence and know-how, then they can help in tackling those issues. Third is about on-time, the predictability of the product delivery time. I think there, to some extent, technology can help because while there is a sense of irritation if the product doesn't reach on time, but there is a higher sense of irritation if the product doesn't reach on time and it's not even informed. So I think a live visibility to what is happening to the product puts the customer at ease that, okay, even if it's not reached when it was promised, I know where it is, so I know how much to wait or whether not to wait, or can I give them an advance notification to not send on the given day because it's late and maybe the next day person can collect it. So I think their technology can help in live negotiation between the customer and the delivery person so that they both can finally reach on a convenient time and location. Because while it's a delight to get the product at right place, right time, but the second best is getting product at the convenient place and convenient time if it's not what was the previously promised. So I think this is what the company focus on to find their way around the current situation challenges.
What do you see as the future of last mile delivery in India?
I think, like I said, that technology can help in overcoming a lot of problems, and India is a technology rich. Technology rich maybe not the right statement to use, but is a technically sound country where people are tech savvy, where people are easy adapters of technology, and people are happy to learn new technology. People are very smart in their habits of finding their way around new technology, adopting it quickly and being used to it and making it a way of their life. So I think that will become one of the key differentiator for a company who's able to overcome these challenges versus a company which is not able to overcome these challenges. And I think eventually this market is going to consolidate. Today there are so many players. I mean, I'm working in supply chain, and I talk to so many vendors, and they all are trying to make their niche in certain geographies, certain legs of delivery, certain type of product of delivery. But to be able to make money in this business, they need considerable scale, and if they keep working in that niche, it's difficult to get the scale. So I think eventually this market will consolidate with these smaller players working as, let's say, partners for bigger players, so that they both can coexist. The bigger partners will be able to invest a lot in the technology, so that the tracking mechanism, the reliability part, the transportation condition tracking, etc., can happen. But the actual execution may be done by the local regional players who are basically, working, who will be the hands and legs for the bigger players. So I think, and the good part is today a lot of big business houses. I mean, India has traditionally been, the economy has been run by a few big business houses who own majority of the GDP. So I think these business houses, when they're already beginning to invest in logistics and distribution side of supply chain. I think eventually it will get consolidated into few players. So that's what I think.
And thanks for sharing today.
Okay, that's my pleasure.